you doing?
I'm great. I can't believe I'm meeting with you. This is fantastic. I've seen all your videos in TikTok, so I feel like I'm chatting with a celebrity today.
Wow, thank you for that. I'll send you an autograph later.
Fantastic. Or even like when you once you write a book, send me an autograph book, please.
Well, there's 6 books in progress, and I keep thinking, does it make sense? Because the attention span these days is like 2 seconds, especially on TikTok. So, yeah.
So I don't know. I'll let you let me know how you want to structure the call today, and I'll we can go from there, Leo. How's that?
Well, this is your call. So, what is it you want to accomplish with this call?
Yeah, sure. So what I want to accomplish is I want to share the current opportunity, the couple opportunities that I'm working right now. And I will also give you a little bit of my background, why I want to start these two opportunities. And,
Okay.
at the end of the day, would like to get your advice and any input that you have and see how maybe long term we continue working together. As I mentioned, I'm a big fan of your TikTok. Uh, content, I feel like when I watch your content, I feel pumped. I feel like I have some direction and getting
Awesome.
ready to do it, which is great. And every day is different, but yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get done today.
Okay. Sorry, how do you pronounce your first name?
Jose,
Jose. Okay. Everybody calls me Leo. And where do you live, Jose?
I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, I won't hold that against you, I promise. Um, okay. And what kind of business are you thinking of starting?
Yeah. So a little bit of my background. So I was a senior executive a Fortune 500 company earlier this year. They went through in the retail industry, and most of my career has been on the marketing world. So finance and marketing, and on the retail industry, CPG industry, and wireless industry. So wide range of experience in marketing and finance. I'm very passionate of finance. The reason why I'm looking to start something new is my company asked me to relocate to a New York area. I don't think I was ready to relocate at this point, so I decided to leave my job, take a break, recharge myself after challenging 3 years with COVID. I think it was brutal for the retail industry as everybody else. So I saw it to the approach like, why not? Let's take a break. This may be the only break I get in my career for now. So I've been taking it easy, looking at my next opportunity. Now, there was an agent that reached out to me to look at through a franchise. I was like, why not? So I've been spending some time the past 6 months looking at different franchise opportunities. I started more I was looking for a service B2B for agency services and chatbot and augmented and AI. And I don't think I'm quite ready because of my network on a B2B. So I pivoted to something different, more like B2C. And the couple opportunities I'm exploring is number one is a painting franchise 360. I know we chatted a couple of times, not sure if you remember that conversation. So I'm spending a lot of time with 360 Painting, which is a well-established franchise. They're spending a lot of business, a lot of money on their growth. And I actually came from their discovery day last week, where they walk us through their marketing operations. And to summarize it, what attracted me to the 360, all the tools that that they're gonna provide me, more so on the technology wise, how to keep the customer journey, right? Keep them engaged. For me, it's very big from a service perspective. Like you want to know who's visiting you, who's giving you the quotes, and get the customer engaged. Number two, what also attracted me is the painting business itself. I think it's something that I'm not going to be doing it myself, right? And something that
Mhm.
I listen to you, I'm going to hire the contractors. However, my role is going to be part of the hiring and doing at the beginning, understand the business model, like providing the quotes, right? Understand how they have a software itself, how you go and provide the quotes. So on my perspective is learning that and then the business, the in and outs without the painting, just the minutia as far as the software and automation of the tool, and then hire somebody 3 or 4 months down the road. Um, so that's why I'm looking at 360. The other opportunity I'm looking for is ABC Senior Care, also franchise opportunity, which is providing senior care services in-home senior care services. The reason I'm attracted to that is two reasons again. Personal experience, I went through my risk with my grandma, the challenge of finding service care that someone would go and take care of her. So it was very challenging for my family. Number two, I think the population. I think there's a huge opportunity in the population, and the population continues to age and continues to live longer. And the dynamics of the family has changed. Before, it's only maybe one head of the household working, and while the mom was taking care of the siblings and the mom and her parents. Now, given that mom and dad are both working, they may not they don't want to adjust their lifestyle to take care of their aging parents. So that's the one that I'm also looking for. My only challenge with that one is it's an industry that I don't know. It requires quite an overhead at the beginning because you need to secure an office, get the license, which could take from 3 to 6 months. At the same time, you have to start paying for the technology, the franchise fee, and then you have to start recruiting the care service providers, which is, I've been reading a lot of it. It's very challenging at this point,
So are you
post-COVID.
more of a broker? You're putting the
An agency, I will be the agency side, coordinating
Okay.
like the marketing and everything, and then just doing the marketing as far as looking for seniors who want to the service, the healthcare service provider. So that one
Okay.
I'm still evaluating, talking
How
to
many
owners.
franchises do they have, ABC?
Ooh, they're quite a spread. I think they're like pretty much in every state. Like here in my area, they're actually in 2 areas already, and they're giving me a different area that they need coverage. So they're like widespread, and competition seems like it's fierce. Even when you look at senior cares, there's a lot of competition out there. So that's what I'm maybe postponing that one for another 6 months until I understand more of the dynamics.
Okay.
So on 360 is the one that I'm gravitating towards more as far as launching it. And I'm allocating, franchise fees around $65,000, which got me, the beauty of a franchise, the know-how, the software, the IT, a call center, and all the tools to make me successful. Um, and I'm allocating another $60,000 to $70,000 just to launch, which it goes heavy on marketing. As a big believer of marketing, given my background with the branding, building the connections with the community, putting myself out there, and actually I have a lot of content ready for my TikTok channel or a podcast just for like painting or house service industry, right? Because I'm a big believer of outbound marketing. So I have the content ready if I decide to go this route. So I just wanted to get your perspective, on the franchise. I know you mentioned quite a bit in your calls. I would like to get your input. It's like, Jose, this is the right way. You're not doing the right way. I don't know. I want to get something based on your experience or any additional advice that you may have, Leo.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the senior care. I'm going through a situation where I'm taking care of my mother. So we come from a culture where we don't believe in senior homes, and neither does my mother.
Yep.
So I would like to see more of a service to take care of elderly people in their home, in their
Yep.
environment, right? I would be 100% behind that service.
Yes.
Because putting them in warehouses, and I've worked with clients actually in Nova Scotia and a number of different states, where they were building these buildings, and we were creating aggressive marketing system to attract these people from different states and different provinces. And this was a destination type retirement home because it was really unique. It was on the waterfront. They had a lot of activities, and it was based on lifestyle. We were selling lifestyle, and we were not talking about retirement. We were talking about elevating your lifestyle, right? And people were coming in from all different parts of North America because of that lifestyle. So I believe in that, right?
Yep.
I also believe, I've always wanted to buy a condo aboard a cruise ship, and the cruise ship would travel all over the world. It was called the World, but it never got built. But there are other smaller ships like that. So I would love that because again, it elevates the lifestyle. But I've retired 4 times already. I'm not sure that I believe in retirement, right?
I don't
Because
believe in retirement, but I think the average American, they do believe in retirement.
yeah, which is a sad statement, which means they never really lived, right? If you're
Yeah,
so looking forward to retirement, it means that you hate your life now and you haven't designed your life,
agree,
right?
agree.
So stop and design your life so you don't have to retire, because if you don't love every single day in business or starting a business, then what the hell are you doing? We get one life to live and that's it. At least that's what I believe. So the senior center, if we're talking about elevating the life as we grow older, then yeah, I would be all aboard something like that. In terms of 360 painting, I've come across them quite a bit. In fact, we have a franchise expert coming into our TikTok show on the 6th, January 6th. So you might want to be part of
Perfect.
that.
Let me block that my calendar for the 6th then.
Yeah, I just did a promotional video about that. So yeah, and I like the way you think that you're not planning to work with your hands, and we never endorse a business owner working with their hands, because you're cheating yourself, you're cheating your employees, and you're cheating your clients if you do that, right?
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in building a great team and creating that culture to deliver great results. And every business should be client-centric, because if you're not, then you're on your way to bankruptcy. So but what I would suggest and what I recommend everyone in your position is to create a spreadsheet, right? Create a spreadsheet with at least 10 different businesses, including some
Yeah,
franchises, then create different sections. The first one should be quality of life. What's my quality of life as the owner going to be over the next 5 or 10 years or from day one? Right? What's the quality of life? The second section should be what's the quality of life going to be for my employees? The third section for my clients, and so on. And the fourth section should be how will I build generational wealth? Right? And when you rate all these 10 companies, at least 10 different companies, now you're getting a more formalized system to make a decision on your behalf. Because we get so emotionally involved and we look at businesses in a vacuum, right? And we don't compare them with other businesses. You'd be surprised how many times I talk about a freaking coffee shop. These people are so excited about buying a coffee shop, and I ask why. Why do you want to buy a coffee shop? Well, I've always wanted to have a coffee. Yeah, but why? Why? Okay, because when people don't show up, guess who's going to spend 12 or 14 hours a day in the coffee
there.
shop,
Yeah,
right? And trust
correct.
me, people are not going to show up because no one's going to care about your coffee shop as much as you do, right?
Yeah, that's
So,
correct.
but again, we always look at things in a vacuum, and everything looks great in a vacuum, right?
Yeah,
So
that is
I
correct.
think I admire you. You're on the right journey. You're starting to ask the right questions. I think the most important question is, how much time am I going to spend with my kids or my grandchildren when,
Yeah,
as my business grows up? Am I going to be able to run this business from my cottage, my boat, my vacation home, right? Because it
yeah,
should, a business is just a vehicle to deliver quality of life, right? And the business should be designed on autopilot 2 or 3 years before launching the business, okay? Which means you start with a CEO or a general manager, depending on how involved you want to be in the business, but you need someone to be responsible for the business. And, I believe that a true entrepreneur is a business flipper. He doesn't get emotionally involved. And people talk about passion, I'm going to follow my passion. That's such crap. That's such crap. How can I be passionate about the 19 businesses that I run? Who gives a shit? Passion
yeah.
is something my employees have for their jobs, right?
I agree. I agree. And I mean, I know I mentioned too, and I'm agree. I'm seeing that. I think I'm aligned with your recommendation because right now I'm pivoting. I have two other ventures that I'm working on. One is a digital agency as well. I'm spending a
I
little
like
more
that as
time.
well.
I'm actually reading a lot to see the direction on how to focus, because one of the learnings what I'm gathering is focus on what your digital agency what wants to support, whether it's a painting business digital agency, or the one I'm looking for is a driving academies. So I'm doing some research there because I have a few folks that reach out to me for help. And actually, right after this conversation, I have a conversation with an agency and a couple of folks in Colombia, right? Because my goal is outsource it, get some experts there, and bring that knowledge here, right? So I can have economies of scales of less expensive labor overseas, yet very qualified, and support the U.S. or American companies here. So that's the other venture that I'm working on. And I want to get your perspective, Leo. Right now, as I came back from my immersion day in the franchise business, I've been working on corporate America, and sometimes I doubt, should I launch it or should I just go back to corporate America? I do miss not going into an office. I mean, the paychecks at corporate America, and I was making very good money. And, I'm still applying for jobs, but I'm very, very selective because of I just want to have a good balance after post-COVID. I don't know. I want to get a perspective. Like, do I go back to corporate America, forget about this, try to launch this on the side? I don't know. What's your experience? Have you heard from any other uh, individuals that went through a similar situation that I have?
I know what you mean about the withdrawal symptoms from corporate America. I know what
Yes.
you're talking about because I used to sub work from the world's largest management consulting firm. And I used to average 5 flights a week, traveling,
Yep.
crisscrossing North America, being in meetings and being on the phone, getting off a flight and being on the phone and even in the car, getting, on the phone and coordinate. I used to love that shit. I used to
Yep.
love it, working, living on adrenaline, going from meeting to meeting to meeting, going from lunch to meetings and always meeting different people and meeting 1,500 employees. And, I used to love that shit. Of course, I've burnt out 3 times, right? But, I still talk about it fondly. I would love to get back into it. But if you're going to go back to corporate America, why don't you take your knowledge and get into consulting? Your first year's salary will be $500,000. If you're going to go into consulting, do it properly, right? And help
I,
businesses, help struggling business owners to see the light. That's what I would do if I were in your shoes.
I like that. I like that. I haven't really given it a thought about consulting. Um, is there a place where I should start? As far as obviously, I will treat it as a business entity. So again, going into outbound marketing, building a brand. I mean,
Start
I'm
by
assuming it's
joining
the
my
very similar
live.
structure, right?
Start by joining my live events and learn how to become a consultant. You learn by doing in this case, right? Just get involved, right? Become a panelist on my live and just start helping people. Eventually people are going to reach out to you and say, I love what you said about this, this, and this. Can you help me with that? Because I'm suffering with the same thing. The clients come to you. You create a platform where the clients come to you, right? And
Yeah.
you're creating a platform where you're developing trust by helping people, right?
Oh, amazing. That is great advice. I haven't really thought about it. But yeah, I think, and you defined it very well. The
Yeah.
corporate
Well, to
America
give you
would
an
drop
example,
into.
on Friday, I had 7 people reach out from my live event, 7 scheduled Zoom calls from my live event on Friday. All right. 7
Got it.
people reached out and said, Leo, can you help me with this? So yeah. So it
Got it.
does work. I firmly believe that influence is the new currency.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Whether you're starting a painting business, retirement business, consulting business, whatever it is, you got to have, millions of followers.
Yep.
And the best way to build millions of followers or start with 10,000 or 1,000 followers is get out there, All right.
Yeah. Perfect. No, that is great. Thank you very much for that piece of advice. I feel a lot better about after this, right? And I think you define it well, the corporate America or syndrome. I think just going back the withdrawal, I think that's what I was feeling it. But yeah, I think that definitely will help me quite a bit because I do miss the hustle. I do miss not the meetings, the environment, the traveling, right? And but yet I enjoy what I am right now, and I feel like my entrepreneur spirit has awoken, and that's what I have all these ideas and working for different initiatives right now. Is now it's just getting the time to do everything and making sure that they're done
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. Your entrepreneurial spirit is waking up late, but there are advantages to that. I started my first construction business when I was 17, made my first
Yeah,
million before I was 25. But there are advantages to both. Now you have the corporate experience, right?
yeah,
You have the discipline of the corporate life to start a business. You've been accountable to people. A lot of business owners are not accountable to anyone. We get away with murder every day because we
yeah,
don't hold ourselves accountable. So which means our companies never really get to the level where they should be because
yeah,
they don't have advisors, they don't belong to CEO clubs or mastermind groups or anything like that. You have that discipline. It's almost the equivalent of I like working with people who are ex-military, right? They have the discipline,
yeah.
right? And that discipline in designing a company culture and that balance will really help your employees.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say I was fortunate. I also have the capital, right, that I can go and I think that I can go and spread it into different companies right now. So that I think that will say probably the other advantage of starting a little bit late. But yeah, and I think in one of your videos you mentioned the culprit could be education, our U.S. education system, as they always teach you to go and find a job, find a job, find a job.
Become a
And I think when
slave.
I was listening to one of your videos is I remember that my senior year, and I was wrapping up my college, and they came this gentleman for a Fortune, I will not say the name, Fortune 500 company, and mentioned, okay, you guys, this is what you need to get into our company. And I asked them, hey, but how about I want to start my own business? What resources can you give me? I want to start my own business. And nobody answered that question to me. So I was like, okay, maybe I have to find a job at a Fortune 500 company. And, being an immigrant, I really wanted to do that too. But I think my entrepreneur spirit was very dormant at the time. I went back to sleep because I'm from Ecuador. I migrated here and I always was entrepreneur. And when I see the folks that interact with you, I literally see a lot of folks are immigrants, right? Like I think the entrepreneur spirit is very enhanced, I would say, in folks that migrate into the United States. And I was like, huh, yeah, I used to be like that, but I blame like probably the corporate America, the universities that they didn't give us the structures. Like you follow these steps, and then you're hired for these Fortune 500 companies. Not necessarily they teach you or push you to start your own business. So yeah, I think that definitely education, or maybe I don't know, it's my university, but it has to evolve. It has to evolve, and I am glad that I'm doing it now and going reflecting on what happened in the past. It gives me opportunity to coach the younger generation. Like my son, I have a 13-year-old that now is like, okay, make sure you do this, but you have to start your business. I'm coaching him. By the time you go on your first year or finish high school, you have to have a business running. And that's what I'm coaching him right now. And again, thanks to your
Well,
advice, because I heard that you started your business when you were 17 years old. And that's what I'm telling my son. You have to have a business, whatever it is, you have to.
yeah. Actually, the other thing that I talk about is I regret starting a business so late. I should have started in grade 9. I should have started when I was 7 or 8. I wish I had better advisors. I should have been selling comic books and lemonade stands and so on when I was 7 or 8 years old. I wish I had done that because I would have gotten a much earlier start in business. And if I could go back and invent a time machine and go back to when I was 7 or 8 years old, I would say, Leo, don't be an idiot and don't think you're going to be an architect and don't waste your time in university. That's what I would tell myself. And most people don't want to hear that, especially when
Yeah.
they have, tons of debt. Because what university or what high school and grade school should teach us is how to learn, right?
Yeah.
Once we have the skill of how to learn and how to read a book, right, or how to interview people or how to suck people's brains dry, right, and we should all spend time in retirement homes, right, as 7, 8, 9, 10 and teenagers to interview these people and talk about regrets. Tell me about your life. What was the highlight? What's your legacy? What are people going to remember you by? And what would you change if you could go back in a time machine? Right? We don't do that. We don't encourage people to do that. And my nieces are tired of hearing from me because I keep talking about this type of stuff, right?
Yeah. No, I agree, Leo. I agree. No, thank you very much. And as far as moving forward, as I continue with my journey, I will definitely reach out to you. Do I schedule another call with you? I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
2 months
please
or
schedule
so,
another call.
or
You have my calendar link. Schedule another call. But I don't want to make light of my invitation to you. I was dead serious when I say you should join my live and be a panelist on my live, where you can start encouraging people to start businesses. All right. And
yeah,
talk
no,
about
I
your
try to join
experience
your
with.
that's your noon live events, right? Yeah, I'm actually gonna try to join today. I have a conflict, but I'm doing my best. I try to join at least 3 times a week just to. I mean, I love hearing
Yeah.
folks there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I learned
No,
so much from
but
that,
be
but
a
for sure.
panelist, be my co-host is what I'm saying. Okay.
Oh,
Be a co-host. Okay. I'm glad that I
sure.
brought this up again because I think you have a lot of knowledge, and even your enthusiasm about starting businesses can help a lot of people. And I firmly believe the best way to learn something is to teach.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. When you teach, now you better know your subject and you better do a lot of research because now you're going to teach, right? So the
Yes.
best way to learn something is to teach. It puts you on the hot seat, but you're going to know that subject, right?
No, I'll be more than happy to do that. I would say, give me just this week. Let me restructure my social media channels just to make sure that they look, in particular my TikTok. I have a lot of content. I haven't published it. It's
Yeah,
been more like my personal.
actually don't do that. Don't do that
Okay.
because vulnerability is your best tool. And when you come on the live, the best thing you can say to win, because what you're trying to do is get 10,000 followers, right? And Duarte, my co-host, he's doing a lot better because of the live. Okay. And even though we are probably splitting company because he doesn't see the value, which is kind of sad. But the vulnerability, the way you're going to get to 10,000 or 100,000 followers is by being vulnerable. And when you come on the first day saying, I've been negligent, my social media is crap, I need to clean this up. They need to see the progress, right? They don't want to see, the clean home. It's like cleaning the house before the cleaning lady comes in.
Yeah.
Don't do that, right? Show them how you're cleaning the house with the cleaning lady, right? So
I
be
love that.
vulnerable. Be vulnerable.
Okay.
And you're going to lose this vulnerability. You will not have this card to play again. The vulnerability card is going to be gone, right? Because people see me now as an asshole. I can't play the vulnerability card, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't come across as being authentic.
I like that. Thank you for that advice. I would love to then, Leo, I would love to, let me know when. I'll be more than happy to join you and help some other individuals, from the marketing front and even from my franchise journey that I've gone through so far.
Yeah, and let's talk honestly about what you like about these franchises, what you don't like, and we can go deeper, just like we did on here. And this should have been on the live event because it could have helped us both. The conversation we just had should have been on the live event.
Sure. I mean, but I think to go live, don't I have to have my 1,000 followers so you can have that interaction though? Is that how it works?
I think there's ways around that.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to get with Duarte. There's a co-host feature that we can force it through because you need to do it a couple of times for to bypass the algorithm, right?
Got it.
Because if you you can't go live. How many followers do you have?
I haven't checked. I don't spend a lot of time on my TikTok. I'm more like an observer of content versus publishing content on TikTok, right? I mean, I go social media. I haven't really engaged because I'm at corporate America, so I've been very careful with my social media.
Right. Okay. So I need to jump on another call.
Yeah.
Are you okay if I post this video?
Yes. Go ahead, Leo. And
Okay.
thank you very much. And I'll shoot you another email. We'll stay in touch, Leo. How's that?
All right. Post another, schedule another call for tomorrow if you want, then we can talk
Sure.
about, getting you on the live. We'll
Okay,
talk soon.
fantastic, Leo. Thank
All
you.
right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.